Hello everyone, it's the video avalanche. But I really have found some interesting articles in the last week that I wanted to share with you, and some interesting websites, informative websites. And one of the websites that I found is called VegRD, which stands for Vegan or Vegetarian Registered Dietitian. And one of the things I was really impressed with is that the woman, Virginia Messina, seems rather unbiased. So she basically will point out negatives and positives of different arguments for veganism or vegetarianism, which is really refreshing. And I actually found this while I was looking for information against veganism, and specifically against raising children vegan. So anyway, I'll just read out this article because I think it's really interesting and really like food for thought for everyone, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, or not either. So it's called "Should Vegans Use the Health Argument?" And it was written in response to a question that someone wrote her, and you can go on the website and contact Virginia yourself and she will respond. So the person says, I read an article on the Vegan Outreach website that said that it isn't true that a vegetarian diet is the healthiest way to eat, and that we should argue for vegetarianism based on ethics, not health. I'm confused about this. I thought vegetarians were healthier and that cholesterol had a very big impact on health. And Virginia says, I agree with the Vegan Outreach conclusion. I don't think that health is an effective argument for a vegan diet. Here is why. We know that the typical American diet is unhealthful, and that we know that a diet based primarily on plant foods is linked to reduced risk for many diseases. But we don't know that being 100% vegan will reduce your risk any more than eating a diet that is 98% plant foods. For example, if a person ate 3 ounces of fish each day and sprinkled a teaspoon of Parmesan cheese on their pasta or vegetables every day, but ate only whole plant foods for the rest of their calories, would they be less healthy than someone who eats only plant foods? We don't know, but it is doubtful. Eating too much cholesterol does have an impact on health, but moderate amounts may not. And note that in the example I gave above, both diets are quite low in cholesterol and probably in saturated fat, and both would be high in protective compounds like fiber and phytochemicals. Therefore, if we use health as our rationale, it is impossible to argue for 100% veganism. On the other hand, the ethical argument is what I think of as an 100% argument. Even if your diet is entirely vegan, almost entirely vegan, but you eat 2 eggs or a little cheese every week, these little bits of animal foods may not impact your health negatively, but they involve inhumane treatment of animals. Additionally, there are people who are simply not ready to adopt a completely vegan diet for whatever the reason. They might say that they can give up everything except that Parmesan cheese on their pasta, or accept their favorite chocolate chip cookies made with eggs. In that case, we can support them in their efforts to eat perhaps a 95% vegan diet, assuring them that by switching from a meat-based to a mostly plant diet, they are in fact improving their health, and they are also reducing the suffering of animals. In that case, health is effective. So health is an effective argument for a diet that is mostly plant-based. So I thought that was really interesting. I agree as well. I don't think that, like for everyone, that veganism will be like, this miracle cure for everything. Like, I mean, I got the flu, but I know that there's a lot of other vegans who say that they never get sick, But at the same time, there's a lot of people who eat terrible diets who say they never get sick. So there are a lot of like variations between people, and coming out and saying that, if you're vegan, you'd never get cancer, or you'd never get this, or you never get that. You probably would be wrong, because if someone had a genetic predisposition to something, maybe they'd still get it, So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I'm going to put the link to the website in the description section, because it's really like an amazing website. Like, you can get probably, even though you can ask her questions, if you go have a look through it, it's in like a blog format, so you have to sort of go backwards through the articles, but if you have a look through it, you'll probably find the answers to any of your questions anyway, or you just have a look through and find out what's interesting in it. But yeah, it's good to have a website like that written by a registered dietitian, so you can get informed information on things. So I thought I would just share that. Thank you.